What is a number? In order to get a better understanding of what a number is, let's pretend we don't know what numbers are, and try to get something we want without using numbers. If we want something that we could see, we could always just point at it. Say as if we wanted, apples. Well, if we just want it, we can just point at it, if we can see it. But what if we can't see it? What if the apples we want are at the store? Well then, at that point, we could always just struggle to communicate the idea, or we could use, instead of numbers, we could use the word. But what if you want more than one of those items? Well, you could always just say the thing you want as many times as you want it, but sometimes that's not going to always help. Alternatively, you could note that to want an apple, as opposed to wanting a group of apples, is near the same reason you call them apples in the first place. In the past, you noticed that despite every apple looking different, they could all be called the same name because the unlimited number of differences between the apples was almost non-existent compared to the difference between all the apples and an orange. What the apples have in common is more different from an orange than from each other, so we can use apple to describe a similarity between the bigger differences like oranges and tables and chairs. Since all these apples get the same name, what really matters between the difference between an apple and a group of apples is the number. An apple is always an apple, and multiple apples are an apple plus an apple plus an apple. Just in the same way, an orange is always an orange, but multiple oranges is an orange plus an orange plus an orange. There are many differences between an apple plus an apple plus an apple versus an orange plus an orange plus an orange, but these have something in common compared to an apple versus an apple plus an apple plus an apple. The difference between an apple and an apple plus an apple plus an apple is a lot more clear when you are hungry. Say, for example, that you have a friend who wants to share some food with you, and you get one of two cases. He's either going to take 3 apples and or 3 oranges, and then you get what's left, or the other deal is he's going to take 3 apples and you get 1 apple. At that point, it becomes a lot more clear which one seems to be different. A number represents the addition of a unit, starting at an object. Its purpose is to be a symbol that simplifies for your mind's sake. A single sound and a single symbol denotes how many objects we are talking about. For instance, starting with 1 apple, we have 1. Next, we'd go to 2, which would be an apple and an apple. Following that, we can just drop the apples and just write that 3 is 1 plus 1 plus 1. 4 would be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. A number system is a writing system used for expressing these numbers. A number is a simple way of providing others an instantaneous idea as to the size, amount, or information that would otherwise have to be experienced by seeing without counting and then counting it. It turns shepherding from a mess of animals too many for the brain to handle at once to a simple single symbol, simplifying the sum, a much more easier task. The discovery of the quantitative unit of one object follows that there are many one-object things, some of which is so similar that we make them share a name as to help us think and share information about things around us. Numbers tell us how many units of an object we are thinking about. Math is the study of this idea in all the various forms it comes. Don't forget to leave a like and comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Support Existence University at patreon.com/youexist.